how do you create a welcoming environment for all
Oh, there you
stakeholders?
go.
Yeah, exactly. So we kind of talked about
So
this.
I, you know, I love people, and
Yeah.
that is just ever since when I talk with students about like doing personality tests and skills assessments to see like what your personality type, where it lines up with different types of jobs, right?
Mhm.
Industries.
Mhm.
I did one with students and I did it with them, but ever since like my first job at 15 was making tacos and burritos.
So,
Really?
yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. And then that took me into retail, that took me into Nordstrom after that. But every job I've had my entire life is all people facing
Yes.
and collaborations and
Mhm.
being with people and some artistic and stuff like that too.
Mhm.
I am not the personality type. Like my nephew is a computer coder. I
Mhm.
am not the type. If I had to go into an office and sit at a desk 8 to 5 every day, kill me.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
You're a people person,
I'm
so
a
that
people
makes sense.
person. I want to be out. I want to be with people. I want to be bringing people together, like partnerships, making a difference in people's lives.
Mhm.
That's that is me
Yeah,
totally.
definitely seems.
So when I'm forming partnerships,
Mhm.
like all of these schools, like I walk into schools and they're like my family,
Yeah.
right? But it's how you treat them, and it's when even though we're coming into their school to help their students, I bring all of them treats too. Like if I'm going to bring treats for the volunteers, I bring them all to the staff and to the front desk
Mhm.
and to the faculty and just say thank you for having us here. Like thank you for getting all of these volunteers checked in and showing them where the library is. Like we so appreciate you guys, your kindness. You take such good care of them too. And that's how you just form a really good partnership. And then also sticking by your word.
Mhm.
And because a lot of times, like when I first started going into schools, they're like, oh yeah, somebody from Yes used to come in. They were always different people. Um, and we haven't heard from them, that kind of a thing.
Mhm.
And I found out that they were using volunteers to do that. And
Mhm.
so I said, well, I'm here now. This is what I do, and this is what you can count on from me. And so it took a couple of years. It took like a year or two for people to start going, okay, like you're still here,
Yeah.
right? And so really sticking by your word and delivering what you say you're going to deliver. I think that's really super important.
Actually, that's crazy that you mentioned Yes, because when I was looking online, it said that like you guys still partner with Yes. So I'm assuming that there was like a formal there was never a formal based on that response.
Like, because okay, so yes was stood for
Mhm.
Youth Employment
Service,
Service.
yeah.
And so when we merged with Boys and Girls Club, we
Mhm.
are still yes,
Mhm.
Workforce Development,
Okay, okay, that's
right?
why. That makes
So
sense.
we're under the umbrella of Boys and Girls Club of
Yes.
Central Orange Coast.
Mhm.
But it's basically like how Robert, our CEO, said, like, I am basically the executive director of Yes,
Mhm.
but it's just under the Boys and Girls Club umbrella, basically. But
Okay.
we kept the Yes in there because it's such a staple of the community and people. That's what they recognize it by.
Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you for
Okay,
clarifying.
yeah,
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 because
that
it
was
was,
good.
yeah,
Good thinking on your part too.
yes. Um, what policies and strategies does your organization have in place to encourage employees and volunteers engagement and growth within partnerships?
What policies to encourage it?
To encourage, like, I guess, like bonding and growth together, like for the shared mission.
So we have like our annual goals
Mhm.
and we all of our initiatives. So like our teen program,
Mhm.
we have our teen centers where we have events held at our all of our teen clubs.
Mhm.
And then we also have our college bound program and our workforce program. So together
Mhm.
we have to all be synergistically like together,
Yeah.
right? And we have our like I have my own strategic plan.
Mhm.
Everybody has their own strategic plan, and then together we have our annual plans. And then our company has our annual goals aligned with their annual goals,
Okay.
so that we're working together. And then we do quarterly review meetings with our executive team, and that makes sure that we are staying aligned across the board with our mission, we have a strong mission, and our two-word slogan is pursue greatness, and that is throughout everything that you see, like in our clubs and different things like that. But
Mhm.
our CEO is very passionate about every single child deserves the best. And he has always lived by whatever my children have access to, every child should have access to that. And so he really paints this big vision and makes sure that we are all aligned. So our family strengthening unit, our operations team, our marketing department, our resource and development department, our learning and innovations department, we are all in that same mission. And so they do, we have reviews, we have quarterly strategic planning meetings to make sure everybody's aligned, annual meetings, and we have monthly, they're called vital factor meetings, but they're monthly goal setting meetings. So we do them within our departments.
So it's
Does
very
that help with that?
yes, it sounds very equity driven and making sure like everyone is pursuing what they said in these meetings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And account, like, what's great is nobody is micromanaging you. It's like you do your job,
Yeah,
basically,
Yeah.
That kind of a thing.
like accountability.
Yeah. And that's where our monthly meetings are. So even though my team, they don't have to go to any goal setting meetings, but they know what our annual goals are. And I encourage them, and they love setting their own monthly goals.
Yeah.
Even though they don't have to, they like doing that because that helps them reflect back on their year and stuff like that too for reviews.
Excuse me, sorry.
No,
That's
you're good.
awesome that like you are so goal driven
Mhm.
when it comes to that. I feel like when you do have a very broad partnership, like the way that you do and your company does, the mission can get lost. But it sounds like you work
No, the
very
mission's very, very important. Like, we do not go away from the mission. And it's also really important to make sure that everybody is staying in true and in line with that, because that affects our donors, that affects our grants, our partnerships, everything, right?
Definitely. Very important. How does your partnership handle personal changes in leadership, and what strategies do you use to ensure continuity?
We do a lot of SOPs. So we're very big on having training manuals on everything that we do, so that if I were to come down with the flu this week and I have a class of 300 to go do, then somebody can pick up and know exactly what I'm doing because it's in the SOP, right?
Yeah.
So our training, like for me with onboarding new people, I have created a document that goes step by step through like a lot of training, so that I make sure that every single employee that I train is getting the same training. And that takes them through the different departments. That takes, it's introducing them to all the people. It's taking them on club tours. So we take days and go to all of the different sites and introduce them to everybody, so they learn what they're doing too. So they see what, because we work from pre-K all the way up to college, right? So it's really important that everybody understands all the logistics of the entire club, and how it impacts how one area, like how we can all work together too. And even though you're in learning and innovations, we still can work together, right?
That's super cool, because realistically, there are going to be days when there are like call outs and that's cool that there is like a plan in place to ensure everything works.
So, like for continuity with my program, then like I have a great training manual that I have created. And so my team, they know exactly what to do. So the content of the program always stays the same, and then they can take it and like throw in their own personal stories and personalize it a little bit, but the content never, the core content is always there. No matter who's teaching it, the core content is always there. And like a presentation slide will help them walk through it. So pretty much wherever school you go into, you're going to see the same core product, right?
Yeah.
Maybe just facilitated a little different way,
Yeah.
but it's all the same.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
personalized.
So that's how we do with the continuity of that to make sure that everything is across the board. And when we do those quarterly strategic meetings,
Mhm.
we also do assessments where we will go pop into somebody's program and just see how they're delivering to make sure that everybody's delivering
That's awesome.
the same.
Yeah. I like didn't really like, fully think about like the possibilities of doing that, but now that you explain it, like it sounds like it's pretty set in stone.
Yeah, yeah. And as we're growing bigger and bigger, it's more important that we put a lot of those things in place. Because when it's just me, I know what I'm doing, right? But when I'm not there, like you have to put those things in place to make sure.
Yeah, for the sustainability of
Yeah.
the partnership.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
In your partnership ongoing, or is your partnership ongoing or time bound? I guess.
Oh gosh, no, it's ongoing because, and that's the really cool thing. Like we are pretty much like on the school year calendar, right? So you're there, you're in school a lot during the school year. And sometimes and you're working with different kids like juniors or seniors, or so we're kind of there throughout the school year, but then also in the summertime, we'll do like some summer camps. So we did like a construction camp, a day camp, where people came out, a construction company came out, and they did hands-on learning stuff, and so instead of sitting there listening to a company, you're actually learning how to put stuff together and weld or do things like that. So and then we also have maker spaces in all of our centers, so they do coding and all kinds of like 3D printing, modeling, stuff like that. So we'll do some really cool workshops like that throughout the summer to engage students too.
Yeah, so not only just like workshops, like
tactical. Yes. But our partnerships are ongoing because, like, perfect example, Costa Mesa High School. This is the 10th year I've worked with the senior class. Next year will be a new senior class. So it's always being repeated. And that's where I always, we always talk with our schools and our teachers and stuff about how did the program work? Any feedback that you got? Do we want to do anything different for next year? That kind of a thing. So it's a continuation.
That's awesome. Have you had any like sibling fairs?
Yes. Absolutely.
That's cool to see.
Yes. And because it started out as Youth Employment Service, it's been around 1970. We've had grandparents where their kids and then their grandkids came through.
So you're making impact generationally.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
How have your partnerships evolved to address changing needs or new opportunities while staying true to the original mission? I know you kind of touched on it, but is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
About staying true to our mission? I think it's like with the partnerships, no, because I always tell schools, like, if you think of some crazy idea and you think, oh my gosh, this is so crazy, throw it out to us. And if it aligns and if it's something that we can pull off and it's work related, then absolutely, then we can do it. So I think, it's also, I think it's really important when you're talking with schools about like what their goals are for next year. Like right now, that's what we're doing is planning for next year. And so what are their goals? What are changing? Like AI, right? And all the changes as AI is coming out. So we're shifting and we're adding in some AI workshops and maybe some AI prompts about here's what you can do. Like here's a couple of things adding prompts and things like that.
Mhm.
Doing more webinars,
Mhm.
that can reach more students. So we did one webinar with an engineering company and 3 different classes that were happening at the same time. They were all like career technical education classes, but there happened to be 3 periods at the same time. So they all tuned in. So instead of that, like there were 75, 80 students that all tuned in to the career panel.
That is
So I think you're adjusting that, but that's staying true to your mission, right? And then when you're talking with the companies as well, it kind of goes back to that fostering those relationships. What is the company, like a lot of these big companies, their employees, I guess don't have to, but it's very encouraged to do volunteer hours.
Yeah.
And so they do volunteer hours.
Mhm.
And so what are those volunteer hours based on? And so they tell us what their needs are. And if that aligns with our mission,
Mhm.
then that's where that can come open too. So it's like they're doing us a favor, but we're also doing them a great favor.
Benefits all.
No.
When the hell did you say they were done? They were done.
But that's how you become like you roll with the punches.
Exactly.
And unexpected things happen.
Exactly.
And there's times in classes, right?
You were
Where things happen.
Yes, you were talking about an AI kind of workshop, which I think is so beneficial because you are leaning into the future, kind of like of technology and
Yep.
teaching them how to use it. Which,
Right.
again, I'm very grateful to go to a college that is teaching me how to use AI beneficially. But there are people that don't get that, so
Right.
that
Right.
is a
Right.
great example. Of kind
So
of
yeah.
of
So
all-
like you can, it's like I talk with students about like if we're talking about a story or you're talking about something like throw it into AI and get some ideas on how to do it, right? But I don't want you to take that from AI and read it exactly like that because it's going to throw in some words that aren't you. And so when you go to repeat it, you're going to get caught up or stuck
Mhm.
on this word that doesn't sound something like you would say, and then they know it's AI, right?
Definitely.
So really talking through them with a lot of different things. And I think schools are doing a good job with that and stuff too, but yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the last question I had for you. Thank you so much for your time. I
Yay!
really appreciate it.
Anytime. That's
It's-
amazing.
Yeah, no, just your whole partnership and what you do is very interesting, and it's amazing that it's in our community. And just getting to know a little bit more about how you help personally, like thousands of students over the course of like when you've worked is truly awesome. So thank you for taking the time to do this.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course.